New cards, PogChamp, new cards, PogChamp. It's time for the part of the stream where I just make Vlad a bunch of money for no reason. Okay, so, first and foremost, we have this that I forgot to click. The 2023 World Championship prize cards and playmats. We've got Gate Brigio, the Waterfront War Beast. It's got the match winner effect. It's a dino. And we've got Masterful Magician, Servant of the Sanctuary, which is, I think, the 5th different spellcaster match winner. They got to stop doing spellcaster match winners. All right, what's next? This card, Rescue Hedgehog. Let's come to the rescue with Rescue Hedgehog, V-Jump. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. You can banish this card you control, special summon one normal monster and one effect monster from the deck that are level 3 or lower, but are the same attribute and type and level, and the monster special summoned have their effects negated and are destroyed during the end phase. Now, you've probably seen this FTK. Let me just be the first to tell you this is, not good. Obviously. But it is interesting. This card has a lot of potential. Currently, I can't really think of a place where it can be used. A lot of scenarios in which, like, this card is, oh my god, it's a one-card rank 3, which is already available. A lot of scenarios where this card is a one-card link 2, which is also already available, but there's not a lot of really good link 2s you can go into by using the effect of this card. Dyer sent me a thing asking about Metal Foes, but unfortunately the only effect to Metal Foes is Rare Metal Foes Bismugear that's level 3 or lower. Otherwise, you could do Para, which means that, like, you would have to play, like, another random guy, like a 3 Psychic, to do something with, and even then it's not fantastic. I think its best application is Sunseed Genus Loci plus Shadow Seed, which is one of the ones they don't play because it's just, like, an extra thing that probably has to be normal summoned, and wouldn't theoretically have to in this one. But I don't think, like, going from 12 copies of Loci to 15 copies of Loci is going to be the difference maker on a deck like that. CJ says, I've been doing some testing with White Hedgehog. It's not as good as Unizombie and loses to the exact same things that Unizombie loses to, so it's only kind of good. Well, given that you can only play 6 copies of Unizombie, this being copies 7, 8, and 9 of something similar, I mean, it might be something at least. I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for this card, but right now I'm not sold on it. Next up, Incinerate Their Defenses with Fire King Hanuman. So these are Fire King avatars. Fire King Avatar Hanuman, level 4, Beast Warrior effect, 1600, 200. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when a spell, trap, card, or effect is activated, you can negate the activation if you do destroy a fire monster in your hand or face-up field. This is the spell trap version of the new one, right? Who's the new one? It's like Aratava or something. This card's good. I mean, it seems good. Fire King Sacred Immolation. Target any same numbers of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls. Destroy them. If a Fire King card you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Okay, this is the first good Fire King card I've ever read in my entire life. Wow. Holy moly. Jumpin' Jellyfish. So you're just busting your Fire Kings constantly in order to proc their effects, but that's all it does. This actually converts it into actual advantage for your opponent. That's... That's pretty good. I will say the hard once per turn means that, like, now Fire King is functionally just like a deck that has a Ritual Beast Steeds, which is probably not good enough in 2023, but it's at least a cool design for a card. Solidarity Strike of the Fire Kings. Special summon a Fire Beast monster, a Fire Beast warrior monster, and a Wing Beast monster, one each from your hand, deck, and graveyard. Destroy them during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when your Fire King monster is normally special summoned. My understanding is that this actually wouldn't take too much setup, but it's a weird card, right? Like, you want this effect in order to be able to access a bunch of these cards on your turn so that you can actually do something with them. So you have to fire it at, like, the end of your opponent's turn. So it's, like, sometimes, like, Threatening Roar because it just body blocks a bunch of attacks. But then the monsters are on the field and your opponent can get rid of them through non-targeting means. It strikes me as, like, what if Revolt didn't perform a Link summon? And if you're describing that to me, then it's very bad, right? These cards are good. They're interesting. They play well with the existing Fire King playstyle, but certainly I don't think they're good enough that the deck will move from unplayable to tiered metagame contention. And Blaster's back. Free my buddy Blaster, Burner, Enigma Zud, Royal Firestorm Guards, Firebrand Hymnist, Rekindling, Tanky, Trade-In, a Pointer. Well, we're not getting that one. Power Sink Stone, Gigantic Trainer, Diamond Direwolf, and Hita the Fire Charmer Ablaze. Whoa, that's Blue Sky. Well, okay. I do like some of the new Fire King stuff, but I'm not sold on it, I don't think. Power Sync Reprint is also very funny. One more, I think. Yeah. These are new cards, right? Valmonica, Angle, or debil.
Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. Today we are going to talk about Valmonica, Angle, and Debiru.
Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about Angelo, Valmonica, and Dairu. Okay. While you have a Fiend monster card in your other Pendulum Zone, each time you gain life points, place one Resonance counter on this card. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, link summon a Valmonica monster. Great. We're putting 1s and 2s in the Pendulum Zone effect now. Monster effect. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card, place this card and Demon Valmonica from your deck into your Pendulum Zone. Insane. During the main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can banish a Valmonica normal spell trap from your grave. This effect becomes that card's life point gain effect when this card is activated. That cannot be how that's worded. Oh, that cannot be how that's worded. Wow. This is a type of effect activation that is going to immediately cause a ruling nightmare. This effect becomes that card's life point gain effect. What if it inherits a second life point gain effect? Does the game end? While you have a fairy monster card in your other Pendulum Zone, each time you take effect damage, put a resonance counter on this card. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 for each resonance counter on cards you control. This card is in your hand. Discard another card. Place this card in Angelo Valmonica from your deck into the Pendulum Zone. During the main phase, if this card is normal or special summon this turn, you can banish a oh my god. You can banish a Valmonica normal spell trap from your graveyard. This effect becomes that card's damage inflicting effect when that card is activated. Wow. Okay. Oh, and we have a link. Can't be link summoned unless you have a fairy monster card with 3 or more resonance counters in your Pendulum Zone. If this card is link summoned, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of resonance counters on cards in your Pendulum Zone. Destroy them. You can remove 3 resonance counters from cards in your Pendulum Zone. It can make a second and third attack during each battle phase of this turn. What's going on in this art? It's like an upside down angel. Zeburfia. Same deal. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 3 resonance counters from cards in your pendulum zone instead. And once per opponent's turn, you can target one of your Valmonica normal spells that's banished in your graveyard. This card's effect becomes that card's effect when this card is activated. All right, let's check the spell traps. When this card resolves, you can add a Valmonica monster from your deck to your hand. Insane. If the 3rd resonance counter is placed on a card in your pendulum zone, target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it till the end phase, but it can't declare an attack. All right, well, how hard is it to get to 3 resonance counters? Gain 500, then excavate cards from the top of your deck until... Oh, no. Wow. This is going to be hell to resolve. Take 500 damage, then you can set a Valmonica card from your deck to the graveyard, except Valmonica Versar. Oh, this is cool. Your opponent gets to choose if you don't have the Valmonica in your pendulum zone. Intorare. Gain 500. Your opponent chooses a monster in your graveyard that can be specialed, and you special it. Take 500, then add a level 4 monster from your graveyard to hand. Okay, this card sucks. Guiding Rhythm. Gain 500, then destroy a spell trap. If you have a link, you get to do both. Take 500, then return a monster on the field to the hand. It's like bad super factorial. Gain 500, your opponent can target monster cards. Then you can negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls. So in terms of design space, this is really interesting stuff. It's like you put the angel and the devil on your shoulder. I get it. And the one that you go, the link monster that you're able to summon, depends on which one of these you listen to. That's funny. But I don't think these effects are good enough, right? How do you get 3 resonance counters? Like, 3 seems to be the magic number, but like, you can only get resonance counters by gaining or losing life points. So, sorry, gaining life points or losing life points through effect damage. So, like, maybe there are some halfway playable cards that just incidentally gain you life points. But you can't activate 3 spell traps because they only have 2 spell traps or spells that put counters on, and one of them isn't very good at all. And the payoff for them being the link monsters is cool. I think the link monsters are neat, but I think the traps are not good enough to justify doing this. I don't know. Trick Clown is a level 4 that inflicts damage. I could see it being like bad Clown Blade. Upstart Goblin seems mandatory. Well, yes, because you don't have 40 playables, but it doesn't trigger either of these. Don't you want the 3rd counter to be placed on your opponent's turn because of the field spell? Yeah, like, sort of. You want the 3rd... What they want you to do is put 2 on them by using both of these, and then the 3rd one by, virtue of a trap... No, neither of the traps put a counter on. What the fuck? How do you get the 3rd one? You use the monster effect to copy? But how do you get the monster out if you don't have 3? The traps do put a counter on? Oh, yes, they do, because they gain you or lose you life points. Yeah. So what they want you to do is they want you to go Versare, Intonare, put 2 on, set a trap, pass, then you fire the trap, and you get the 3rd, and then you take control of an opponent's monster. Which is, like, fine, but I don't think enough to facilitate a deck. I will say it's hyper consistent, right? Like, these cards set them both as long as you discard a card. Like, that seems really good.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So a new
Oh, good, Lithium has one.
revealed a couple of days ago. And let's just start
Let's see
off
the deck.
with
Come
both
on.
Angel and Demon.
Walk me into the deck.
Synchron, which is
Oh, it's
first
just
of all,
Clown
we go
Blade.
by the,
Clown
the
Blade plus
tuning
Assault
cards.
Synchron.
There
Does
is
it trigger? I
Sephiroth,
suppose
which
it does.
also in the
Revolution
artifact
Synchron.
because of the Blackwing level 6 synchro you can get in the field, so that's already 2. And Trick Clown is a third one. You know,
Volcanic,
works-
that's funny.
Works under Bakura field spell because as you know, I don't feel this is a super top tier deck.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel it's a super top tier deck either. I feel like it's a pooper top tier deck. But very interesting.